Kit Kats can read. Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Katie and in today's video I'm going to be doing a video review on Again But Better by Christine Riccio. As a quick disclaimer, I did receive this as an e-arc from the publisher in exchange for an honest review. So this is going to be split into two parts. The first half of this video is going to contain the non-spoilers, and then the second half will contain spoilers in more detail. But I just want to say a massive thank you to the publisher for sending this book to me. This is going to contain my true opinions only. So first of all, I also want to say that this is in no way going to be personal against the author. I have watched Christine's videos as she is a booktuber here on YouTube. I've watched her videos way before I started my own channel. She was one of the inspirations. I watch her videos near enough all the time as soon as they're uploaded. She has put a lot of work into this book as it's her first debut, so I totally applaud her on that. So this story is about a young girl called Shane who has basically done college life wrong, and so she wants to right all of those things and travel abroad to London. She discovers new friendships there. She learns what she really wants to do in her life, not what her parents sort of like want her to do. And so it's like friendship, family and that sort of thing, as well as discovering hopefully boys in London as well, maybe a bit of romance, just basically making her life a lot more fun, a lot more worthwhile, and totally worth it. It's a story that is about second chances, discovering yourself and maybe righting all of those wrongs and living your life again. So when I knew that Christine was writing a book, I was very excited. I had to request it straight away, and then I think, if I remember, I did get declined it, but then I got approved the book, which was a bit strange for me. But when I got approved, I was like, oh my goodness, I have just been approved for Christine's book. Like, this is amazing. And so I near enough was starting it close towards the release date, and a lot of other people were reading it as well. They managed to get an e-arc of it, so it was really good for us to all share our thoughts. So first of all, I do want to say, yes, it is a sort of a self-insert of Christine in the main character of Shane. It's very obvious to see that. There's a lot of things that Shane does that Christine does, and when you're reading the book you'll see what Christine does. If you don't know Christine, then you probably wouldn't be seeing all those things. But if you're a booktuber like myself and you watch her videos, then you'll be like, hang on a minute, doesn't this have a resemblance to Christine herself? So maybe it was just done that way on purpose, like for Christine's own adventures to London, that sort of thing. And yeah, you could really see the bubbly big character of Christine in the character of Shane. I love books that are based abroad, and I was really excited about this element to the story. The fact that Shane was traveling to London all the way from like America and just finding adventure and new friends, it does make you want to travel as well, and I really liked that element to the story. I love stories about like discovering yourself as well, like changing a person for who they are. I really like those sort of stories too. For the majority of this book, I was actually really enjoying it, and it was actually near enough close to a 4-star read for me, like throughout like most of this book. There were a couple of bits that happened in the book though that docked it a star for me, which I'll talk about later in the spoilery section. But I did really enjoy like the majority of it. It was mostly like the characters' decisions, or like what was done and how they were done, that sort of thing. That's what I didn't like about it. But I really did like, you know, her traveling to London, her making all of these friends. One thing that I didn't really believe in was like the kind of romance in this book. Like, it wasn't those sort of romances like, you know, when you read the book and you can really feel the angst and the tension and the romance that is between the characters, and I wasn't really feeling that with these two characters of Shane and Pilot. Like, I wasn't feeling this romance at all. There are a lot of references in the books to fandoms like Harry Potter, the Shadowhunter world. Overall, it's not actually a bad book. I didn't hate it. I actually really enjoyed the majority of it, but like I say, there were certain aspects that I didn't like in the story, which I'll talk about more in the spoiler section about my actual dislikes for those of you that have read the book. So overall, I had to give this book 3 out of 5 stars, which for me is actually really good. And that normally means it was an okay read in the end. I normally say like 5 was really good, 4 it was good, 3 was okay, 2 disappointing, 1 pretty much don't bother to read. So 3, it's an okay read for me. I still would recommend for people to give it a try, for people to read. And don't forget, it is Christine's first book, so people with their debuts, they're either going to be a hit, they're either going to be a miss, they're either going to be okay. Some people even have debuts that are amazing and then their second books don't quite follow up. So it's just the way that the book world works. So this could be a learning curve for Christine, this could be a learning curve for us. You know, we could love her second book. I myself, I'm really excited to read her next book. If she's going to be planning on doing another book, I'll be really excited to give it a read. I love the cover too, again, but better. I think it's a really beautiful cover. I totally commend that. But yeah, like, it was a fantastic idea of traveling to and writing things and second chances and developing yourself and that sort of thing, and I really liked that sort of storyline. It does remind me of like kind of like Anna of the French Kiss in the way with the traveling. I thought that was really good, and I loved having all of the fandoms in the book, like Harry Potter and the Shadowhunter world. It just made my geeky self very happy. So that is the end of the non-spoilery section. If you don't want to go further and dip into the side of the spoilers, then I'll say goodbye to you now, give the book a read, and then please do come back to venture into the spoilers of what I didn't like about the book, and then maybe we can share some thoughts about it. But if you have read the book, or if you don't mind being spoiled, then please continue with the next section. So when reading a few of other people's reviews on this book, they said they didn't quite understand why Shane had to go back after 7 years to meet Pilot and whatever they did. And I was just like, well, actually she does explain in the book that she does want to go see him to get a bit of closure, because they parted in such a blunt way. And I will quote here, "Closure is a knife that will sever the what if strings." So she has probably been going all those 7 years like, what if this happened, what if this happened. Maybe Pilot has gone about it in the same way, who knows, and she just wants to go back and be like, you know what, if that isn't going to happen, then so be it, I'll walk away. But if it does, then I need to do something about it, because she isn't happy in her life. She mentioned she's not happy with her current boyfriend and that sort of thing, and you know, the mention of marriage, she's just like, oh really, like I don't really want to marry this guy. I feel like there could be like something better, because she's always had that what if in her mind, and I know that I probably would have been very similar. I have had very different elements in the past where I've had friendships and then they've ended like that, and then or meetings with other people and never actually gone further than that. And I thought the other day about a friendship that I had on a game where it just ended like that, and I was just like, wow, all I know is they live in Ohio, but it's like, what if they're not alive no more, what if, you know, we could still meet. So we do always have those what if thoughts. Also, I did understand when Shane was talking about her engagement to Pilot, some people were saying they didn't quite understand that, like, why did she tell Pilot that? Like, did she want it for a reaction? She explains that it was mentioned, but it wasn't like a yes, I'll marry you sort of situation. I applauded Shane when she apologised for her visit. She was just like, I'm really sorry for visiting you like this. The actual quote is, I'm sorry if I'm actually creeping you out with this surprise visit. So I totally applaud her for that. So there was a moment in the book where it wasn't so bad. Shane and Pilot kissed, but they never did anything proper like dating, when Pilot supposedly breaks up with his girlfriend. But then we find that it didn't get bad when he doesn't break up with his girlfriend, and then he leaves a voicemail, which makes me dislike Pilot even more. And I will be completely honest, I really did not like the character of Pilot. He was such an unlikable romance character. He was a dirty, cheating son of a bitch, and Shane was just as bad for running to go back to him. And I really did not like the ending. Like, what the fuck? Like, he proposes and she said, like, what the hell? That felt just rushed. Like, what was that? Like, she travels to go see him after 7 years, blah, 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 and then they get married. Like, what the hell? Like, where's all of the actual dating and development thing that goes on? Like what? Don't even get me started with that stupid nickname lamppost. Like, what the fuck was that? It was just so cheesy. They could have had a much better nickname than that. Like, not just like always, but like together or something like that. But lamppost, like, what the fuck? I liked it that there was a time travel element to the story. I think that made it quite quirky. In the end, it was just an okay book. A lot really annoyed me. The characters annoyed me at certain times. But yeah, it was just an okay read. In the end, all I would say is I'm glad that I gave it a read. I'm glad that I managed to support Christine by giving it a read. And yeah, I implore other people to give it a read as well, to just see your thoughts on it. Like, I always like to hear what other people think, and like, am I the same as other people, and that sort of thing. I know this book has just received very hit and miss. Like, some people really like it, some people think it was okay, just like myself. Some people didn't like it and they gave it less of a rating than myself. So it's different for everyone, which is why I say to give it a read. And I still recommend it. I still recommend it as a really, really good book. There were just certain things that really irritated me, and I just didn't believe the romance, because things happened that were just so damn corny, cheesy, and unrealistic and stupid. And yeah, like, I want a romance to be really like, to get me here. Like, if you're gonna do a proper like cheating romance that's very similar to Anna and the French Kiss or like After by Anna Todd sort of thing, you have to really make it angsty. And I love those sort of forbidden romances, but you've got to really make the male character likable and that sort of thing. And yeah, you got to really get those tension moments. Like, there wasn't enough angst for me, and if you're going to do that and that sort of thing, yeah, I just didn't feel the romance. That's the only downside to it. But I like the traveling aspect and the like finding the job and that sort of thing. Like, everything else I really liked. It's just, I think the romance side of it and the relationship that those two had, just, that's where it went downhill for me. So that's it for my review for this book. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Any comments and any thoughts about this book, let me know down below in the comments. Have you read this book? What did you think about it? Do you agree with me on some of my points and that sort of thing? But I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are. All of my social media links, as always, will be linked down below in the description if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. But that's it from me, guys. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!